Hey fellow vault dwellers, it's Angry Turtle and the PITT is downloading right now for me, most likely for you too, and should be live soon, probably in like 4 to 5 hours. But we have a patch notes here, and I will be diving into all the details, and I will be trying to find whatever we do not know just yet, and any surprises in the details. As well, if you are interested in anything related to this update, I most likely already covered it on my channel, so feel free to check my latest uploads, and that includes even the build for AutoAxe. Now, the PITT update notes, September 13th. Let's dive in. Our latest update for Fallout 76 launches today, and it brings the expedition system to Fallout 76, which will take you beyond Appalachia's borders for the very first time as you embark on missions to the PITT. It also introduces Fallout 76 Season 10 and a slate of new rank-up rewards, as well as a new wave of gameplay improvements and bug fixes. Gameplay improvements, let's see if we know them all or not. Update highlights are: Responders Reborn head to the Whitespring Refuge inside the Whitespring Resort to meet a new generation of responders. They're working hard to lend aid to all who are in need, both at home, in Appalachia, and in distant settlements using their vertibird. Charge up and take flight. Even the responders could use a helping hand. Complete new daily quest at the Whitespring Refuge to earn their trust and to charge up the vertibird's ultraside battery. Head into the PITT. Fire up the vertibird and use it to lead expeditions to the PITT, where you can take on our first two missions, Union Dues and From Ashes to Fire. Lend your firepower to the industrious Union, who have been embroiled in a battle against the treacherous fanatic raiders. Earn stamps and claim rewards. Complete missions in the PITT to earn legendary weapons and armor, legendary modules, in-game currencies, and more. You will also receive stamps based on your performance, which you can use to buy specific rewards in the Whitespring Refuge. And I already covered all those rewards in the video and show them off if you are interested. Visit the City of Steel in Season 10. Earn score to rank up and claim a host of new rewards, including the AutoAxe and Union Power Armor, on the Fallout 76 Season 10 scoreboard. Red Rocket Across America presents the City of Steel. Update version 1.7.0.23. Download sizes, huge. Basically a new download with exception of Steam that somehow managed to pull it off with 23.5 GB. Everyone else, full download. No mercy. And that's not that I wish you no mercy, there's just no mercy for this update. Introducing expeditions and the PITT. We are introducing the expedition system, which will take you and up to 3 other teammates beyond the reaches of Appalachia for the first time in order to complete challenging and repeatable missions. While anyone can participate in an expedition, we currently recommend reaching level 50+ for the best experience. The responders are back. With more and more people returning to Appalachia, some have discovered the responders of days past and decided to take up their mantle and mission to provide aid to anyone in need. This new generation of responders have set up a base of operations inside the Whitespring Resort and named it the Whitespring Refuge. Recently, the responders have managed to find and restore a vertibird. With your help, they are hoping to use it to expand their efforts to distant settlements across the wasteland. Visit the Whitespring Refuge to start the Responders Reborn quest, which will introduce you to many of the noble souls who make up the new responders. Along the way, you will learn about the responders' goals and their trust, and gain access to lead expeditions using their vertibird. Charge up and take flight. There is explanation how you charge and how you start expedition. This is quite long, so I will not read everything of that, especially that I just uploaded 2 days ago a full guide to expeditions, how to do the dailies, how to start the mission, what to focus on. And all those pages cover basically the same thing, although if you want to read through it, you can either pause here, or I will drop a link in pinned comments so you can go directly and read through all the tutorial that is included in here if you choose that over watching a video. Anything works as long as you will be ready. Now, take a road trip to the City of Steel during Season 10. Here's what's headed your way during Fallout 76 Season 10, which begins today. New scoreboard, the City of Steel. And all rewards have been already revealed. There's an article on fallout.com, and I have a video covering those rewards. All those new rewards and stuff that is there. We can already see, then I don't think we need to read that. You can, of course. If you need to, I am going for the juicy stuff. I will probably read quick recap for new toys. Auto Axe. In the right hands, the Industrious Auto Axe is a workhorse that can chew through any obstacle in your path. With a little know-how and elbow grease, you can modify it to dish out poison, electrical or fire damage. Okay, they didn't say much, but I have full guide for Auto Axe already uploaded, available in my videos. Union Power Armor, perfect for your forays into the pit. You will receive 150 poison resistance and 75 carry weight bonuses whenever you are wearing a full set of Union Power Armor. That will be a lot of grind though, because it's high on the scoreboard, so not instantly available. Later on, amazing Power Armor. I have full review on that too. I did a lot of videos recently, I just noticed. During Season 10, the Auto Axe and Union Power Armor can only be earned by ranking up on the scoreboard. Once Season 10 concludes, we plan to add them to Giuseppe's inventory. That way, players who miss them this season will still be able to unlock them in the future using stamps. And there's even a link to all rewards on fallout.com. Additional design changes and improvements. That's when fun stuff starts. Let's dive in. Fast travel. Oh, fast travel. Is the bug fixed? For certain points of interest, that's different, but as well a very good point. Like the White Spring Resort, the Rusty Peak, the Crater Foundation, or Fort Atlas, players can now decide whether to fast travel directly inside that location or to its interior. That is actually amazing improvement. I love this one. Additionally, a new White Spring North entrance fast travel point has been added to the White Spring Resort. Players can discover it on foot and then use it to travel directly inside the White Spring Mall. Because White Spring have two interiors now. There is a mall and there is new base for responders. Purveyor Merma. Players can now purchase up to 100 legendary modules and up to 500 Vault Steel at once from Purveyor Merma. No more server hopping required to get all the modules you need. Finally! That was one we were waiting a long time for. It's looked like nothing, but it's huge. The White Spring Resort. A legendary exchange machine and a gold press machine are now available inside of Artisan's Corner in the White Spring Mall. Okay, White Spring getting better with each update. Items. Automatic melee weapons. Legendary versions of auto melee weapons, like the chainsaw, reaper, drill, etc., can now be crafted at weapons workbenches, and they can drop as legendary loot from events, quests, and legendary enemies. What is not specified here as well, you can get them at level 50, previously capped at 20. Starting gear. With today's update, we have included some adjustment to the starting experience for dwellers who are taking their first steps out of Vault 76. The following changes should help players feel more prepared as they begin their journeys in Appalachia. And basically you will get some starter gear when you start a new character or total new playthrough with your purchase of Fallout 76, which is good. I like the addition of 10mm pistol as that's a staple. That's really nice. And new Vault Fed buff, which will prevent hunger and thirst from increasing for first 2 hours. This cool little addition. And level 1 to 15 creatures have been downscaled to make it easier. I'm not sure if this one was necessary, but hey, why not? Early experience should be easy. You shouldn't hit a hard wall when you start, so I'm okay with that. Bug fixes. That's usually where the best stuff is hidden. Let's see. I will read only interesting portions in here. I will not read through absolutely everything. So you can if you want to, but it's always like pages upon pages of fixes, so I will focus on gameplay fixes if there are any. Oh, that's interesting exploit fixed. Address an exploit that could allow the player to have 2 active camps at once. I had no idea that was possible, but sounds so hilarious. 2 camps at once. That's a good fix. Fix an issue in which Tinker's workbenches in players' camps could sometimes become unusable and unmovable. That's really welcome fix. Oh, the combat fix that you probably will not like if you don't like critters. Continuously circling around certain enemies like cave crickets, wolves, and Mr. Handy Bots no longer prevents them from attacking the player. So no dodging. No dodging with walking in circle. Oh, that's bigger than you think it is. Bloodbugs. On death, bloodbugs now have a chance to drop bloodbug meat as loot. That's huge for carnivores. If you don't know, the bloodbug meat is required to craft amazing HP booster, and it was basically unavailable for a long time as this meat was incredibly rare and hard to obtain. It is now. I love it. Okay, that's amazing. Now there is a lot as well, a lot of fixes to quests and events, mostly minor, so I will not read those unless there is major one, then I will read it for you. One quite big is bots on parade. All enemies during the event are now hostile to the player by default and can be targeted in VATS. It was quite annoying when they have been spawning as neutral when obviously they were hostile. One violent night, the optional objective to defeat the Night Stalker barehanded can now be completed while unarmed, as well as while unarmed in power armor. Previously in power armor, it was counting somehow as armed. This is a nice change. Path to Enlightenment. The wise Muffman now correctly appears in front of Landview Lighthouse after completing the event. It was bugged for such a long time. You were basically doing event and there was no Muffman. Now items. For allies, plans for Catherine Swan and Xerxo are now available in Samuel's inventory and can be purchased using gold bullion by players who have not yet learned them. Reduce the weight and crafting requirements for alien blaster rounds so that they now match fusion cells. Okay, that's cool. That's a buff. Lunchboxes. Lunchbox effects now trigger correctly for nearby players, even if they aren't within line of sight of the lunchbox owner. Which is cool. They basically work the same way as Nuka grenades do. Which is a really good improvement. No more wasted lunchboxes. And mods. Extra limb damage. There's a good explanation what it actually do. Weapon mod effect now correctly adds 25% increased damage to limbs and the extra chance to cripple. Weapon mod effect now correctly adds 20% chance to instantly cripple. Which is really good. And it was never adding damage to the weapon then. That's to be clear. It didn't change. Weapons. The dual bar mode for the chainsaw now correctly increases the weapon's damage. And please note, we are aware of a related visual issue in which the damage stat in the crafting menu may not reflect bonus damage from the dual bar and other chainsaw mods. And what they actually mean by that, the dual bar mod was bugged and was doing way more damage than intended. I think they fixed that, and it doesn't do more damage than intended. That's my interpretation. We'll see in practice. You probably never used this mod, but it was bugged and it was really good thanks to the bug. Next, fix an issue that caused charging weapons to deal less damage than intended when they were not fully charged. Okay, that's fine because they broke it like 6 months ago. Then now they're fixing it probably to the state before the moment they break it. I don't know. We'll need to test this one. This one will need to be tested. Weapons. Oh, look at that. The Gauss shotgun now counts as an energy weapon in addition to its other weapon types, and it correctly benefits from perk cards and other buffs that affect energy weapons. Alright, then Gauss shotgun is now fully energy and ballistic weapon? Hard to fully figure this one out, and it was always in between. I will need to test it, but that's interesting. And that's the nerf for the Flamer. Short and long barrel mods for the Flamer no longer conflict with range reductions applied by nozzle mods. Yeah, they basically absolutely remove them. Long barrel doesn't do anything if you have any nozzle mods installed. There is no conflict, they just disabled it. What is not a fix in my book. Weapons. Receiver mods that increase the lower action rifle's fire rate now function as intended, which is good, I assume. Next, the hunting rifle's refined 50 receiver mod now correctly applies more bonus damage to the weapon than the normal .50 receiver mod. Okay, I guess that's a buff. But the only one way to figure out will be testing. Next, 10mm submachine guns with the tweaked automatic receiver and gamma guns with the signal repeater mod are now correctly affected by the Gorilla perk card. Oh, okay, that's a nerf for gamma guns and SMGs. As you know, like when you count them as single fire, there are better perks for that. And for example, concentrated fire stack up much faster. So this is kind of a nerf, but it's a nerf due to the bug fix, so okay. Next, the gyro compensating lens mod for laser guns now correctly provides superior hip fire accuracy. That's good. Weapons. That's cool. Where is W? Okay, weapons. The mod's unlocked portion of the crafting menu now correctly displays a total of 65 available mods for the pipe gun instead of 66. That's small but annoying when you cannot unlock an existing mod. And finally, the Gatling laser, Gatling plasma, and ultrasight Gatling laser can no longer spawn with the quad legendary attribute. Which is good because quad was not working to begin with. It was doing nothing. It was a dead prefix doing absolutely nothing. So that's a good thing. Perk cards, electric absorption. The description of the electric absorption legendary perk now correctly communicates that it heals the player in addition to its other effects. And that's the first time ever when they updated description rather than nerfing a card. Which I applaud. That's how it should be. Update description if needed. Do not nerf the card to fix the description, to fit the description. So I'm super happy with that. Glow sight. The glow sight perk card now correctly applies bonus damage to glowing Wendigo spawns during the Colossal Problem public event. Oh, finally! So this card will be finally useful. Glow sight is useful from today, as it applies to glowing Wendigo. Cool, that's a buff. Surprise, surprise, we have some buffs. User interface is next. And I see those are mostly very minor fixes and bug fixes. As usually, I will let you know if I find something important. And we are at the end word. Drop side V9. Entering the pre-placed set of power armor at drop side V9 no longer causes a brief control log. I'm curious if this will extend to other situations when you are experiencing the control lock. It is quite annoying bug. It's usually just lasts 60 seconds and then let you move normally again, but yeah, it's good that it's fixed, at least for this instance. Miscellaneous fix corrected multiple locations throughout Appalachia where attempting to use pre-placed furniture could result in a brief control lock. And pathing addressed several locations throughout Appalachia where the player could become stuck. Okay, then all of that about getting stuck. I don't see any stability improvement this time, and that's the first time there is no stability improvements. So that is everything for the patch notes. If you are interested in the gameplay, as soon as update will go live, I will go live too, so we can play together. And if you are looking for any more videos, explanations, so on, please feel free to check my recent uploads. And that being said, thank you a lot for watching, and see you all in the next one.